Good afternoon. It is Jen Norland, and wanted to hop on really quick and talk with you about something that has really helped me over the last 14 years deal with situations where I didn't have a lot of control. And that is the practice of cultivating gratitude. One of the biggest pieces of my life that helped me realize how much cultivating gratitude can help in situations where you have no control is in my dealings with my ex-husband. For 14 years, I have paid child support. The way that it works in Colorado is they split it out by who makes, what portion of the income, and that is how they decide the calculation. And so for 14 years, I have paid child support. Thank God it just ended like this last week. So I'm so happy about that. But what I found is when I used to have to write out a check every month and go to the post office and mail it off, and like it would bring up all of these, like, this baggage from the past and all of the things that had happened because my divorce was not clean and nice and like all those things you would hope for. It was exactly opposite of that. And when I noticed every month I would have these feelings of resentment and frustration, and I would just bring up all of this. Ugh. And so what I finally started doing on that side of it was I was able to set it up to just automatically draft out of my account. So that was the first one. Was I was able to set it up in a way where it just happened, and I didn't have to I didn't have to do the things every month that I had done before. So that was the first thing. And when I started to shift how I saw having to pay child support every month, I started to say, okay, I don't have any control over this. Like, this is mandated by the court. He's working where he's working and I'm working where I'm working. And the calculation is pretty cut and dry in the state of Colorado. So there wasn't anything I could do about whether or not I paid or how much I paid. It was mandated to me. And so when I started to look at it, like, how can I make the best of this? The money is supposed to go to help my girls there. So I'm thankful for that. And what really shifted things for me was being in gratitude that I was in the position that I was in. And I was in the position where I could pay child support. And I was in the position where the life that I had created put me in a position to be able to do that. And I think that, so often we can find ourselves in situations where we don't have any control. We don't have any control over what happens or how it happens. And we have to learn to navigate through that. And cultivating gratitude for me in those situations where I don't have any control, whether it's in relationships or in my career, or in this case, through the court system, cultivating gratitude really helped me to ground back down into seeing the things in my life that were good, that I always had control over how I chose to think about those things and how I chose to step into those situations that maybe I didn't want to be in, that I had to be in, but I had control over how I handled those from my perspective, how I thought about them, how I responded to the things that came into my life. And we hear a lot about gratitude. We hear a lot about being grateful. And often, and I've been around a lot of people who don't seem to see the things in their lives that are good and positive. For me, it's my relationships. It's my, ability to be in communities with other people, with my family, with my friends, with my daughters, obviously. Those are the primary things for me. And also, just in general, to be grateful for where I'm at in my life and the things that I know I'm in control of, and the things that I know that I am creating. And it wasn't like I wasn't there 14 years ago. It took this practice of cultivating the good, seeing the good, not focusing on all of the negative or shitty, like when I saw myself doing that every month, I had to write out a check. I went, okay, what can I do? What's within my control to be able to change it so I don't have to feel this way every month? And I think that it's easy to forget that we have that kind of control in our life. We have the ability, like that's the only control we have, right? Is our ability to how we respond and react and step into the situations and circumstances in our lives, because we're all going to have things happen that are both, that we judge as good and that we judge as bad or negative. And that learning how to navigate those without it throwing us off, without it, taking us off into another realm when something bad happens, or at least if it does, to be able to get back to our center of knowing where we're at, knowing where we stand, knowing who we are. And that comes with time. That comes with shift in mindset, shift in how you think about things, in that transformation of taking a situation that we view as being negative or bad into a situation where we can see a different way. We can see the positive side of it. We can see the places where we can be grateful for in those situations. And that is how we transform our lives from being and swimming in this, sometimes it's just survival mode. And it's okay if you're there. It's okay if you're there. I have been there. And knowing that through the choices that we make, through the things that we focus on, we can create a different situation for ourselves. And that's, that's something that will never end for me. That is a continual practice to cultivate the mindset, to cultivate staying in the gratitude, to cultivate understanding and going after the pieces of the situations and circumstances that I have control over. And I think it's really important to remember that. Sometimes it's really easy just to stay in the, in the negative, in the lower vibrations, but we all have the ability to change that. So if you are there, I've been there. I can understand that, well, you just don't understand. You don't understand. You don't understand what's happening in my life or where I'm at. And, my situation is different from everybody else's. However, I do know that no matter what it is you're going through, you don't have to stay there, but it has to be a choice. It has to be something that you choose to, if you're living in the muck and the lower vibration, you have to make the choice. Nobody else can do it for you. You have to make the choice to do the work of, the mindset work, to do the work around the limiting beliefs, to do the work to bring yourself up out of that. You can surround yourself with people who can help you. And that is what I do. I love the stories of transformation. I love working with you to help you see that there is a different way, but I can't do the work for you. So that's really what I wanted to talk with you about today. Is we all have the ability to cultivate gratitude, to cultivate a mindset that helps us shift into creating the life that we want, even if you're in the depths right now, even if you're in the shadows. Those are the places where transformation happens. Those are the situations and the circumstances that we can that's where our internal power is, to take those things and to transform them into something better and something that is that benefits our life. So I hope you're all doing well. We're kind of in that middle ground between Christmas and New Year's. But that was what was on my heart today to share with you. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks, and we'll see you soon.